So this is 119 South Harrison. You have multiple ways. If you go that way, up and over a bit, you'll be back on a 2-lane highway-ish towards the city. And then you have another main road towards the other part of Bellevue there. So you definitely have multiple ways to get to main roads. From here, as we head up, no issues with the mortar or the brickwork. Have a porch swing there. Little bit of one little spot there kind of concerns me that could get flagged by an appraiser. Now, if they're gonna necessarily be looking at that high, that far, that's anyone's guess. But I did just want to point that out for you. Porch is nice and solid, old, but no soft spots, no creaking, nothing that concerns me with it. So still in good shape and workable. This big window here is old, and the old accent glass piece up top. Now, as we walk in, this is a bit of an irregular shaped living room. You have one kind of sitting space or separated space here behind the door, then your main space that's here. So you could have a little separate sitting area and then your couch and chairs and stuff with the TV above the fireplace. Now it looks like it's closed off, sealed off, so I don't think it's functional at this point, but it looks like the piece of plexiglass that's taped in there, they might not have sealed the flue, so you could have that cleaned out and use it potentially. Nice big coat closet right here in the living room area. Nice and deep, as you can see. This big window, like I said, is old, possibly original with the house. Definitely not going anywhere. It's painted in place, so that would be replace it and take it all the paint off with it. But a lot of these other windows are newer, as you can see, modern windows, double pane. Nice big dining room. Accent stained glass piece here. Little cutout there. And the built-in china cabinet. Tons of space. I mean, you could fit a lengthwise easily 10 or 12 person dining room table, no problem. Even widthwise, you could probably get about that. Lengthwise, maybe a little more, but it's just massive. And you can see as I go to the different walls just how much space there is. As we come into the kitchen, they have these nice little built-in pantries. So, extra storage for you. And then the kitchen, lots of counter space. A little more there, and cabinetry. So, tons of room to work with is in this kitchen. Might even be able to fit a small island in here if you wanted to. So, all things for you to think about. Now, there is the back stairwell that comes straight to the kitchen. As you can see, it just goes over, and then you can go down into the living room as well. Since we're here, we'll just head down to the basement. And with this side door that goes outside, there's also a little closet here. Now, as we head downstairs, there's a hint of moisture, but nothing too bad. You can see a drain there. Dryer here with the 220 outlet. hot water tank. It was installed in 2017, so 8 years old. Washer and stationary tub. We do have because I'm from here, I can say this, a fancy Pittsburgh potty where you actually have privacy. And there's multiple rolls of toilet paper, so I have a feeling this is still functional, because you wouldn't leave multiple rolls of toilet paper or a bottle of water. I don't know why you need a bottle of water in there. That is, that must be a real rough one. Now, tons of extra storage here that you can see. Looks like this might be where the moisture comes through just a little bit underneath there. Workbench area over here. Here we have the boiler. No ductwork, so there is no central air in here. You'd be looking at split units. Well, split units or window units. I just think split units are easier long term. And then over here, we have the breaker box. 100 amps, surprising for the size of the house. Still have 3 open panels, so if you need to expand, you do have some extra room to work with. And the boiler, I'd say it's at least probably 20 to 25 years old if I had to guess. But boilers are a little harder to eyeball sometimes. It can't be terribly old because they have the expansion tank on there. So I'm thinking, like I said, 20 to 30 years old, somewhere in that range. So we'll just loop around here. We'll use the back stairwell. Nice, big stained glass piece. You can even see the swirls and everything in there. So that's old. That's hand blown. So we'll loop left here. Here's your bathroom. Toilet looks newer. Storage space there. Storage space here. A vent that does not appear to be functional. Underneath the sink, oh, surprisingly, we have PVC. So not, the piping's been redone. I'm gonna guess that's been redone more recently than the sink has. And then your tub and shower. This part looks like it's being redone a lot more recently. That in the fixture, but down here, this tub is probably from 70s or 80s by the shape of it. Some corrosion and stuff here to deal with. Like I said, I don't think any of that's been redone in 40 or 50 years. Now we're over here to the first bedroom. There's 4 on this floor. So this is better off as an office or a walk-in closet for someone. It's probably 9-10 by 8, maybe 7. Small storage up there. Small closet here. Like I said, office or walk-in closet for one of the rooms. Oh, junction boxes, okay. Here, not a square or rectangular bedroom, but still nice and has a lot of room to it. For the year this was built, this is a massive closet. Huge. Also, you can see hardwood floor down there. So if you decided you didn't want to deal with this carpet, you could rip it all up. And there is the hardwood underneath. This room, probably 18 feet-ish. Yeah, around 18 feet to the deepest part. And maybe 15, 16 that way. So, I mean, you can see tons of room here. They've got that here, a bureau. You could put even like a small desk and chair with a computer and everything there. So, you know, you could have all that right there and then still have plenty of space for extra storage for clothing and everything. You could even probably get something thin right along there. Next bedroom, again, very nice size. Pretty big closet once again. A little bit smaller than the other one, but still for the age a good size. Length of the room, 14-15 by 12 for the further part, maybe 13. So pretty nicely sized bedroom for you. If you notice too, these all, except for the small room, I think. Oh no, yeah, they all have ceiling fans in them. The fourth bedroom on the second floor, bigger than the first, not huge. I'd put it probably 10 by 10 or 11. So not terribly small, but big enough. But there's also the third floor, so you have 2 more bedrooms up on the third floor to work with as well. This window is old and original, or at least very, very old. You can see maybe like the cloudiness. Could use replaced sooner rather than later. Not like I need it done this second, like it's leaking water, but sooner rather than later. We'll go right first. So here we have a closet up here. Again, you can see the original hardwood down there. Not huge, like nice size, not huge, but not small. And this room is very unique. You can see they had a gas fireplace up here at one point. But you got from here to that wall probably 15 to 17. And then here, probably 14, 15. And then you even have this little cutout here too. Now this window, for some reason, hasn't been replaced. This is like 60s, 70s, I think, eyeballing it. Same thing over here, older window. So this is a nice area. I mean, you could easily, you know, your older daughter wants to have friends over. She could have one nice big bedroom up here, or at least a nice TV room, you know, have a TV over there, a couch, love seats, you know, some seating for her to have friends over and not be taking over the whole house. Second bedroom up here, huge, rectangular. This is 20, 18 to 20, but I'm gonna lean closer to 20 by 16 to 18. So tons of room to work with. Up here, you have your, again, older window there. Now with this, again, we talked about central air. This you could probably do one split unit up here. Two on the second floor. And I'm gonna guess two on the first floor. But again, I'm not an HVAC expert. I'm just kind of ballparking and guessing. So that is the 6 bedrooms. Now we'll go take a look at the backyard. So this is the patterned or stamped concrete. Obviously in pretty rough shape. We could, go do a sheen, a thin layer over top to kind of fill in the cracks and fix everything and, level it out again. So that would be a project you could consider. I mean, it's not terrible yet. If you need to wait a couple years, again, that's something you could do. But yeah, I mean, you can see here, chunk came off. Yard wise, you have these little garden boxes that they've made with pavers and stone. And then another one down there. So I know I heard you talk about gardening somewhere. Definitely have some room to do that. Sorry, video cut off. I think I was heading out this way to the garage. So like I was saying, here you have some little like flower areas if you want, and you could even put a bigger garden here. I know you talked about that at one point. There is a crawl space here in under the garage, so you can see some extra storage here if you need it. And then there's a second key on this key ring. Let's see if it'll open up the garage for me. Hole in the garage door there. No, I think there's a garage door opener, to which I do not know the code, but yeah, I'm not tall enough to see in there. Is a 2-car garage, obviously. Here we go. Get in and look through the windows. So you can see they have some crap stored in there. Concrete, not in great shape. Here, let me try to block the reflection of that car. You can see concrete's not in great shape there. But that's definitely something you wanted: a garage space, a workshop. Maybe you don't use this for actual parking. That's up to you guys what you want to do with it. Looks like you could fit a small car. Like this is a parking pad here at the top of the stairs. SUV probably not. It will block part of the garage. But the other thing, if you use the garage for a workshop, you could fit, because then you wouldn't have to worry about blocking a garage door. You could fit like 2 cars lengthwise here and block the door. So there are possibilities. As you can see with the hillside, they've done some sealing, probably a little bit of settling that they were just patching up. Same thing, settling, stairway type crack. It just finds the path of least resistance and goes. Still straight though, not bowing at all. So that, yeah, again, still in pretty good shape. Just, you know, probably want to seal this to prevent moisture infiltration in the long run. Roof, close to end of life. I'd say if you could get a couple years out of that, be happy. Nice part though, chimneys look to be in good shape. I don't see any, at least from here, any, you know, repointing that needs done, mortar deteriorating, anything along those lines. So so that's the property. Again, you have another little area down here with a garden box. So you have areas where if you want to put some garden in, you definitely could do it out of the way. But that's the house. Let me know if you have any questions, and we will take it from there.